ban it, dude. That's just, I don't understand. Maybe they just lock the Rumble on 4. Like, B4.
I would actually love it if we just don't get it. I actually think that would make it really fun. If we just pretend it doesn't
Maybe
exist.
there was just an agreement beforehand. Like, Shiu and Doran are just like, dude, like, I just don't want to play Rumble.
So
like,
bored
I'm just
of
not
Rumble.
into it.
Ezreal Nico, oh.
Maybe that is what's happening.
Widid is going to be overjoyed right now.
So psyched about seeing the Ezreal Nico.
Has there been a counter in scrims being prepped for the Rumble? And they're scared of it?
I mean,
they're scared to blind it?
I have to say, Cassiopeia Rumble goes pretty hard here. Like, miasma down, and then you can't flash out of the equalizer if it goes down on top of it and stuff. Be pretty cool. But Rumble doesn't exist in this game.
And
but there it is. Okay, so it's a B5, well, R5, but B5 technically. Rumble.
Yeah, Rumble. Yeah, they can pick that one.
The fact that they get it, obviously it needs to be Alawi instead.
Yeah,
that's a really good point. Blind Alawi is, wait, you just hover the Rumble and then you're not going to lock it in?
Just remind us that it exists.
My lord. Well, there it is. This has been the strangest draft. It's just dodge the Rumble.
What's funny is that everything's been kind of straightforward and normal apart from the Rumble. That's been the one thing that's been like the elephant in the room.
Well, the ambassador for Doran, this has been one of his best champions, and he is going to lock that one in. There is a lot of power on this T1 composition.
I would
both Pays and Keria. Doran's been brilliant on the ambassador and the Pantheon for Oner, so could be scary. All right, here we are, ladies and gentlemen, onto the Rift for game number 1 of T1 versus Dplus Kia. Dplus fresh off a best-of-5 victory in the lower bracket of the LCK Cup against T1. It was down to the wire, 5-game series they were able to take. The one previous to that was the 3-0 for T1, nothing to see here. So we can draw the conclusions that we feel like from that one. I do personally feel like this should still feel T1 favored as far as just where these teams are right now. But maybe I'm just wrong.
I really don't know.
It's more like my waters rather than anything that actually proves that that is the case.
I honestly think, I don't think the Gen G series was enough to like fully convince me, but the KT series really had me thinking, wow, this team is here to play. Even though they didn't win.
Yeah. I mean, they could have. That was a flip a coin type series, that one.
So we know that T1 are a team who can thrive in chaos, and that definitely was a chaotic series, so they are no strangers to it themselves. They could get some good trade-offs here.
Well, meanwhile, here towards the bottom side, Smash arms that 4th bullet and then reloads at them aggressively.
I think this is my concern, is that despite it being a counter matchup in the mid lane, you know, that is often talked about, I actually think the other matchups are a bit more dire. Bot lane in particular is really unfun, because Karma can just shield the poke from the Nico and walk out of it and dodge poke, and it's so easy just to harass them with skill shots. Karma Jin's so obnoxious. So if you get hit by a Mantra Q, you get rooted out of it.
Yep. And then you get rooted again.
Oh, man.
And then you just take grenades and bullets and a whole clip, and then it's just not a whole lot of fun. As Doran's doing his best here in this top lane, is currently ahead by about a wave, which is pretty impressive. I believe Shiu has been missing a couple of these. Still, I think the Rumble is going to be just fine. I think it's going to be largely about how he plays the team fights as he gets a bit of an overheat here. And Doran is able to flash his way out. And Shiu holds the wave right here.
Yeah, the fact he gets the flash from Doran already feels pretty good. Going to be able to recall, getting a level 4 as well, soak the minions while he's going back. A little bit concerning for Doran. Obviously, Rumble very obnoxious to play into. And the damage, just the base damage he has, I was going to say in his passive with the autos, but just in his kit in general, a lot.
Showmaker coming on over, will be able to grab some crystalline overgrowth, but hasn't had a lot of time to build. Is still looking for that first plate. as he is going to very speedily clear out this wave. Home guard's going to help Faker get back, so he's going to be back here in this lane very, very quickly. But the crash comes on through comfortably, and at least one of these minions will be going to the wayside. Keria and Pays just catching waves underneath the turret. Oh. This is doing what it says on the tin. Orcs, this bottom lane, the Jin Karma is just taking full control. And this is one of the first games that we haven't seen a level 3 gank from either jungler.
Yeah.
In what feels like a week.
I mean, that's the thing, is a level 3 gank from the Pantheon. Bot lane could have mixed that up, could have changed things. We also see, you know, the Boots of Swiftness start on Jin. I hate when you're against this. It's so frustrating. Because on Jin specifically, like, he can go this and, like, not miss out on, like, his early curve and be fine.
Yeah.
But especially when you're playing a skill shot focused lane like Ezreal Nico, it's so difficult when suddenly the AD carry you're playing into just has way more movement speed. So the skill shots are way harder to hit, yeah. And especially because you're playing Ezreal, so you have to spend 400 of your gold on mana. So it's not like you can just outstat him.
Yeah.
In that regard.
And you just generally, like, if you're missing skill shots, you're just not doing nearly.
So if you miss your Mystic Shot, you're in trouble. And also, I mean, look at Pace's items. He has Tear, so no damage on that.
Oh, he's got his Fairy in a bottle.
Fairy in the bottle. And then there's a Longsword, you know, so there's something. But, yeah, a lot of pressure here.
Yeah, Captive Audience does get proc there as, Showmaker looking for a little bit of an angle here as Faker has to flash to get himself out of this lane. Uses his Ghost earlier as well, just to make sure that he could escape. Smash locks down that cannon minion, and this is a lot of control from Dplus early in this game.
Yeah, both summons secured is huge, actually, to set up for future plays, you know, a gank or maybe just a skirmish around Dragon or Grubs, and Faker is an easy target with those not available. You see Pays and Keria trying to fight back as best they can. I mean, that's just Nico and Akama. You throw the Q, she shields the damage and runs out of it.
Huh. Oh, so not only do you guarantee that you don't get hit by the second proc, but you also don't take damage from the first one. Feels great. Keria does use it prior to that next Q coming down, so Keria does have the answer there.
A little bit of damage.
Yeah, but it's 400 gold for DK just kind of passively here at this stage of the game, as the Equalizer is going to be thrown down towards his top side. I feel like this is one of the reasons why Rumble is so stupid as well, is that you just get to dodge bad wave states anytime you want.
I mean, Rumble's been so strong for so long.
Flash Petrifying Gaze comes in, and even though Faker was able to not get stunned, he is still very dead. Lucid picks up first blood, and I guess Dplus are just still on the same level of form as they were up against KT, regardless of the result. As Lucid is going to have to flash away from Oner, who does get the stun off, but he gets over the wall. Still, Doran is going to come over to assist as Shu, without an ultimate, is seeing what he can get done. Oner is in there, able to take down the red buff, and Lucid is just straight up dead. The silence comes through onto this Rumble as Oner is in so much trouble. He has to flash away. Shu misses the flash, and now Doran, he gets poisoned and is looking to try and go back in again by the looks of things. The public execution was on cooldown though. There's a dive here in this bottom lane. The fourth shot not enough as Smash is reloading aggressively once more. And Pays is sitting duck underneath this turret. Oh dear, there was no option.
You didn't need the fourth shot. You absolutely did not need it, but it did make sure he was very dead.
He was very dead.
He should spawn with less than full HP. There should be some overkill damage from that one.
Well, there was some positives for DK and some negatives there, but we're going to have a look at Faker coming down to see whether he can grab this kill onto Keria. He's unable to. And he is just going to shove this wave in towards this turret to make sure that it's not frozen on them or something strange like that. Having a look at what happened here to begin with here in this bottom lane.
Yeah, the speed up fourth shot to get the barrier. Gets the root and the ult level up as the root connects. Could use the clone to block one of the shots. Pays is like, you know what? You can tank this, and he technically was correct.
Yeah, I reckon Keria had his notebook out. He's like, oh, by my calculations, I think I will survive this one. But yeah, he was on 12 HP at the end of that.
Now, so honestly, that's 11
with a bit of wiggle room,
actually. If we're being real.
Yeah.
Okay, so bot lane, going good for Dplus. On the top side of the map, I think, so Showmaker was obviously trying to push the wave and was low on mana, and they still try to contest the invade. Was a bit messy, and obviously the fail flash from Shu Don't need to say more about that. So we're seeing some resistance from T1, which is good. Oner's trying to be proactive. He now has his ult available. Finding a good spot to use that, though. You'd love to use it bot side. We always love to see the Pantheon ult bot side, but they both have flashes, whereas top side of the map is all flashless, so I think it might be a ult Shu or ult Showmaker angle, just because it's a guaranteed kill. Really, if they're overextended, whereas bot lane, if you ult bot and they flash out, worst case scenario is they turn it onto you, especially as they have like a Jhin.
They also know that Lucid is towards this bottom side. He's clearing out a ward right now, as there is that ultimate that you were talking about. Shu does get towards his turret. The Equalizer is in a pretty good spot. Public Execution gets Doran in there. This turret is getting so angry, and Shu survives! Okay!
So I misspoke. I said it was a guaranteed kill. Not quite. Not quite guaranteed.
16 HP, by the way. That is 15 more than he needed.
Even more than Keria.
Yeah.
You know, excess, honestly. A little bit close. And I think what Doran was trying to do is he was trying to wait out his cooldowns before he ulted. I think that's why he held the ult. He was like, I need to wait for my cooldowns to be back up. Then he ults when they're back up to lock him down. And it was really close, but...
the turret was still just so incredibly wound up.
Yeah, I think
that it was just a little bit dangerous.
I can't really fault the execution in the play. I think for the most part they did everything they wanted to. I think the problem was it was a bit rushed. He wasn't that overextended. I think if they wait till, like if you look at even on the minimap now, the position he's in now, if you ulted then he's just dead.
Yep.
So...
But he's probably there because he can't ult him, because he knows that it's on cooldown.
Yeah. But also, to be fair, if he survives on 16 HP, we can't really fault them.
True. Well, curtains are being called here as Pays is just going to start channeling a back.
Well, he hit...
As Keria takes all of his health
Ezreal
damage.
4 times. But
yeah, he
unfortunately
did.
not the real one.
That was pretty cute. As Keria is able to prevent him from being interrupted. Smash, though, is still going to be able to get this plate at least.
This is actually part of the issue, is that because Keria blocked it all, Pays was going to recall anyway. Keria also has to recall, and then Smash just gets to push the wave in and get another plate. 900 gold lead in the bot lane, by the way, already.
That is, well, actually, it's a bit more than that, isn't it? And even more than that, as it now
he
moves
got
up to
the
1.4k.
Cashback money came in when he released his Ghost Blade, so...
My goodness. All right, Keria possibly in a little bit of an awkward spot as Keria gets that Pop Blossom down, but Showmaker comes on over. Flash out from Keria. Petrifying Gaze is fantastic as there's a 3-talent strike onto Oner, and the Twin Fang is able to lock him down. Even more damage coming through. The Flash Twin Fang from Showmaker, who comes alive in this mid lane. And she was overheating on the top side of the map, but DK just winning all over the place. That is not going to be a snare, but he's still taking a lot of damage. As, oh dear, we've seen Pays in an awkward spot in this bottom lane before, and that may be revisited here in just a few moments. Q gonna connect there from Keria, and Lucid just walks on down. No need for any wind becoming lightning. He just kills him.
Yep, that's simple. Just a great transition from that mid play into bot. Lucid and Showmaker getting so much value here. The problem is T1 burn a lot of their tools onto Keria, this Karma, and it just means that Showmaker and Lucid are now able to free hit. Keria flashes out so he can still get value shielding. Showmaker gets a great ultimate, and then here, Keria thinks he's out. Wind becomes lightning, catches him, applies the damage, and the follow-up from Showmaker.
The subterranean wind becomes lightning. How does it become lightning underground? That's crazy. But very cool. As Showmaker, oh dear, Forbidden Book purchase.
Oh, he undid it. He was so tempted.
Oh, come on. You could tell our graphics team was so excited about it as well immediately.
You know, I love that we get to see that. Oh, he bought. No, never mind. I find those so funny.
I'm pretty sure they were. These are manually done in a lot of those cases, but he does get his quest completion, so some upgraded lucidity on these boots.
I do just like seeing though that the player has gone for this and then gone, okay, never mind. It's nice seeing like the thought process in the moment. Showmaker's like, I could medge. I should really just finish my run.
Yeah, getting a Road of Ages is probably pretty good to start at stacking.
I can get Medjai's next, I am.
Well, Pays is now in this mid lane up against Smash, who is getting closer and closer to his rapid fire cannon. It's not exactly a 2-item spike that we like to talk about, but it is a bridge towards a 3-item that is going to be very dangerous. We saw Gumayusi especially having a day out on the Jhin yesterday.
Do you know what this just brought me back to, though?
Where did it
about
bring
item
back to?
completions. Do you remember when it was Doran, right? Paused because he was like, "Oh, my static shit
didn't go off." Yeah, because he hadn't built it yet.
He hadn't finished it.
I love that was also the same season that Aiming like bought a static shiv and it was illegal to buy it, and then had to sell it in the game because he forgot.
Yeah.
Oh, what a time to be alive. All right. Speaking of being alive, Shiu is down here towards this bottom side of the map with Flash up and available. There is a Pantheon in the area and a Karma with Lucid lurking. He just dashes forward. There's a public execution just to avoid some CC. And Oner able to connect some spears onto some minions, but otherwise not much more than that. Next Drake up in 20 seconds time, which is why we do see some milling about towards this bottom river. And it hasn't spawned just yet. We'll see whether T1 are actually going to go for any sort of fight towards this to try and deny the double dragon.
I think it's so difficult in this position. Already at such a big deficit. 14 minutes, 3,200 gold down. I think you just try and go for a cross map. And we look at Oner's position. That seems to be the play they're going for. There's Oner and this wayward minion walking towards the top lane. I wonder what that could be.
Yeah. Wow, it's just some of the spaghetti code going wrong, I guess. Couldn't be Keria. As Lucid just going to start this Drake up by himself. Looks like T1 are not going to try and contest. DK are not going to invest any more resources than they need to in order to take it down. So teleport back from Doran, who does have his Eclipse. It is a big deal. Leandri's not quite done yet here for Shiu. And T1 are just looking for a trade, wanting to grab Shelly. As this is 2 in a row, Ox. I'm sorry, but this is where we have to start drawing the line and saying you've got to work harder.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
That's all right. Is there some hidden value here? I guess there's a Karma on one side. The Eye hasn't been
is pretty good with it.
True. There's Seraph Shields on both mid laners, eventually.
Oh, the Actualizer plus 4 Chemtech Dragon.
There you go.
Imagine Rise, Actualizer, Seraphs, 4 Chemtech Dragons. That would be a shield.
All right. I'm there. The Eye was not picked up, so Shelly is just going to go back to the Void. She's out of a job today, or maybe it's her day off. Not entirely sure. But that is not going to be something that T1 can utilize. So DK were able to get themselves the Drake and deny Shelly, although they weren't able to use it themselves. All right, T1 are going to have to do something at some point to try and pull themselves back into this one. 2.6k is a decent lead. It's not end of the world. But we're heading towards Paze's 2-item spike. The Seraphs is on the way for Faker. Should be done relatively soon, although he only has 2 components.
They have a good amount of pick potential. They have a good amount of trickiness with like the globals and Nico. I think that's the window back into it, is find someone isolated.
What about killing Shiu? As they don't do that. Spear dodge!
There's no way.
Shiu gets out twice in a row, and now Lucid comes down. Petrifying Gaze in for Showmaker, but doesn't get any stuns. As Oner, he's able to do so. His is targeted. Twin Fangs, though, are going to lock down the Pantheon. Doran is now in so much trouble as the flash forward. He lands the poison. True Shot Barrage comes on through. Showmaker avoids it, though, and another Noxious Blast is going to connect as Keria holding Keria in position as there's just random supportal combat coming on down. As Showmaker will crash this wave. Miasma comes in. Doran going to have a difficult time dashing around that one as this turret is just going to go. Keria flashes. Down goes the Ambessa. And Paze is going to have to get his dancing shoes on and flashes to get out of the way of that third bullet. And will keep himself alive. But this is not T1 getting themselves back into the game. This is DK doubling down on a winning situation.
It was a catastrophe everywhere on the map for T1. You know, they go for this pick attempt. Let's see the health that he goes down to.
I
feel like he casually said, Pantheon is ganking me. He's like, Ambessa doesn't have ult. And then they proceeded to kill both of them. Eventually, having a look in live, they were looking for a little bit more, but it's Oner that is in a little bit of trouble there as we do come back. Oner does have some help from Paze, but the Deadly Flourish comes down and Smash without a curtain call. Does mean he's a little less dangerous from that range. True Shot Barrage not exactly doing much of anything at all. Getting closer to the 2 items, but the problem is like these tier items for both the Rise and the Ezreal are really important, and neither of them are very close to being done outside of all of those stacks.
I think it's not as bad for Rise.
Yeah, true.
Because it's 3 items.
As long as he has the tier.
Yeah, but also like his 3rd item is so big. but like even if you're a bit behind the curve on your second item, it's not the end of the world. But for Ezreal, we always talk about the 2-item spike. And Jhin on like 3-4 items is really where he starts to come alive, and you start to feel less regret about the early items he bought, like Fire Cannon.
Yeah, exactly.
So the fact that Pays doesn't have his 2-item completed, you know, by the time he has the Mirror Mana, which is a spike, you really want to, you know, we saw the previous game.
Yeah, as soon as Diablo hit it, it became a completely different champion.
By that point, if you look at what Smash has, he might just have, hopefully, IE finished. I know he has an extra dagger in his pocket.
Yeah, I think he just wanted a dagger.
It's just one of the faster movement speed when he's autoing.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. He wanted to add to that weird Jhin calculation of his damage.
Yeah, I mean, if he's building Stormrazor here, that may be an avenue T1 into the game.
Yeah, I think so too, and I'm a little bit worried about it, but DK looking to come up and defend this outer turret that is very, very low. And there is Oner making his way forward. Lucid is on in there, but that's a beautiful public execution. And they lock down Showmaker here. Even Keria was in position to augment this. That does mean that, oh, never mind. I thought that Smash was the one that was able to push his advantage, but Pays takes matters into his own hands.
It's interesting on that bottom side. Smash has a rapid fire cannon, and yet he doesn't fire very rapidly.
Yeah, it's not that. Faker is also able to take some extra plates here on this top side in this inner turret.
I think that was a great play for T1. You know, this is what they need to do with the composition. They have the pick potential, the global potential. The play for Shibu got counteracted, and on top of that, they just unfortunately didn't kill him by 20 damage. But here, they managed to punish Showmaker, get a tower too, and close the gold lead. And when you think about it, if you actually look at the difference between each person on the scoreboard, it's only really Jhin who has a sizable lead. If they explode Smash at the start of the fight, you kind of just wipe it away.
Yeah, he's also Jhin.
Yeah.
So it's not as dangerous.
Also, Jhin might be building a Stormrazor third.
Yeah. And so maybe they were banking on that. Maybe they know Smash's tendencies for Stormrazors, as he was a former T1 player.
Oh, a little ult to check Baron.
That's an odd maneuver.
They were really scared of the T1 Baron there.
Yeah, Showmaker was also a little bit scared of Faker as he flashes out of the way. It could have been multiple people coming, I guess. So he doesn't want to risk it. Does use that flash, but that means that no flash petrifying gaze or anything like that, as DK kind of shaking here a little bit. The tempo vibes are teetering back towards T1.
The pace of the game has slowed down, and I think they're struggling to find ways to freely push waves and set up without being threatened by these globals. And now Showmaker's down flash. He's an even bigger target. Dragon's in 4 minute 20, and that will be Soul. But again, it's just not a crazy Soul.
No.
Sometimes it's a Soul, and it's like, oh, if they get it, the game's over. This isn't that case. It's a little bit concerning.
Yeah, there are, like, Xin Zhao, I think, uses it relatively well.
That's the thing. It's like, uses it well, but it's like, you know...
It's not a game breaker.
Yeah, it's like when a team gets Hextech Soul, I feel like oftentimes you just want to FF.
Yeah. Although we have seen it lose.
True.
It's happened
before. It's possible to lose. I mean, every Soul, I think, it's not guaranteed, but it's just the odds, right? And I think Hextech Soul here not going to give the most insane odds, which is why Dplus really need to play this next bit of the game carefully. They're still ahead. They're still in a great position. But a couple of mistakes, we've seen how T1 can turn a game around.
Well, they're going to try and turn it around once again with a gank onto Xiu, and it's not going to work.
Yeah, I actually love how he played that. Because
I think 4th time is the charm.
Doran and Oner, Doran threw out the ult, and he could flash it. You know, I think he should have waited for the stun before he ulted to guarantee the CC layering. But maybe was concerned if he left it too long, then Shiwa just flashes on the tower, and they don't want to go on the tower against him. Either way, Shiwa makes it out, did a good job of getting pressure in the side lane. And then with turn, Dplus will put some pressure down top.
Yeah, Showmaker does have his Rod of Ages completed, so has that level advantage, moving towards level 16. A relatively rapid pace, although he's only a third of the way through right now. Baron has spawned, as you mentioned before. They do have to be a bit cognizant of T1's propensity to head over there. But it's T1 that has to check it. A lot of vision available here for Dplus in this area. We'll be able to take that one down. So, Xiu here just continuing to farm things out, probably feeling pretty comfortable, although he did have to flash earlier on. He's been able to deny so many of these ganks. I didn't know that Rumble was a champion that is picked to absorb pressure in a side lane. I mean, that's not normally what I associate him with.
Earlier, though. I mean, not so much the side lane, but like he's been meta for so long, even through like the lane swap meta, because he's just so good.
Yeah.
playing defensive.
Oh dear, Keria gonna have to pretty defensively hold here, but they might actually be able to turn it into an engage onto Lucifer, but the Crescent Guard, so incredibly powerful. Keria down very, very low. As the curtain call in a choke point is not exactly what they wanted to deal with, and the equalizer is going to break up the fight. Still, it doesn't get a whole lot of value as Lucifer dashing forward, flashes in, and the double snare is going to mean the disengage here for T1. Deadly Flourish, it's not quite over just yet, although, as I say that, it is. And Dplus unable to get any kills.
Yeah, I think the fact that T1 got out of that situation, you know, definitely was a delicate one. I think Doran coming in and just creating so much space and denying the Jhin ults. Faker also 8-1 just completely with a Seraph shield that I was pretty worried when I was going towards him, but...
It's Storm Razor Jhin as well, so he should be doing so much damage over the Ewoks.
Yes, all of the damage.
He's feeling energized.
Well, if you think about it, next he can go Infinity Edge, then he can go LDR.
I was going to say, he's probably going to have to go LDR next, isn't he? It's like 25 minutes.
Yeah.
So it's going to be the sad last Whisper item purchase into 5th item IE.
Maybe he'll go LDR, then he'll be like, you know what? I need a GA.
Oh, no.
And then final item IE?
No. He's like, no, but I need a QSS because I took barrier. So he needs to go Mercurial Scimitar last item. And then he remembers that he actually has a quest, so he has room for another item.
Honestly, respect it. If you're never going to build IE, fair play. But if you're going to build IE, you should have had it already.
Yeah, probably should have built that one third.
But it's okay.
That's all right. Maybe Widid and Umpty can go over it on the space after this game.
Yeah, after they finish talking about Widid in particular, how much he loves Nico.
Yeah, Nico Ezreal.
Yeah.
Although he probably likes this game more because Nico Ezreal are losing right now.
He's going to be so happy about this.
Well, I mean, this is like, for me and Widid, it's like really hard, right? Because I have to watch Jhin and he has to watch Ezreal Nico. Like, it's a tough bottom lane to observe.
Yeah, but your hated pick is winning, so you feel way worse.
I do feel worse. As Doran, he might feel worse than me as he's just getting chain CC'd. The rest of his teammates just have to kind of watch.
They kind of felt a bit apprehensive about going into that, understandably, but they do chunk Doran out, but they don't actually manage to kill him or really burn any resources from T1. Doran doesn't have TP though, so he can't really reset easily. And Dragon is going down pretty quickly.
Yeah, Harpoon's connecting onto Pays here at the same time as Grand Starfall does come in. No steal for Oner though, unfortunately, as the Soul is going to come on through. Doran gets in there with the public execution, but Keria is dead already. It's a double for Smash as Showmaker Mega Blast goes for the disengage and avoids getting speared from the heavens. That's going to mean the Keria takes down Oner. 4 on the floor, Pays the last man standing. And Dplus get the Soul. They're looking for Baron, and this might just be game.
They throw everything at Showmaker trying to take him down. He's able to survive, flashes out, and the rest of the team are just there to clean up the melee that follows. Now with Soul in hand, Baron going to be picked up. I think this game is feeling pretty doomed for T1.
It really is. Shio also just going to get started on this inner turret towards the bottom side of the map, not even going to wait for the Baron, and he isn't required to do so as Pays with True Shot Barrage is going to see whether he can get this snipe. Let's see how it goes. Decent amount of value, but
honestly,
yeah, outsmiting Smite these days is hard.
Yeah, it's so hard with a 1400 Smite, but a decent effort. But here, so they go fully onto Showmaker, but unfortunately he has Flash, so they get a lot of damage down onto him. The miasma's good. He's buying time. He doesn't have ult, but he is able to disengage, and then this Blast Cone even saves him from Oner. The final stab that would have taken him down. Even dodges the spear there as well. Chemtech Soul, I think, doing a bit to help him out at that low HP.
Love to see it.
Dplus now in a great position. Even if Showmaker died to Oner, still hugely winning.
And we know now, because Smash picked up a couple of kills, he is going to go for the Grievous Wounds, the Mortal Reminder, and the Armor Penetration as item number 4. So the IE still isn't there yet, but he maybe he's just maybe he doesn't feel like he needs it. Maybe that's just the way of things. Maybe I don't know how to build Jhin.
Maybe he likes things with a finite number of edges.
Yeah. Now, honestly, Infinity is hard to wrap your head around.
It is. You know, honestly, if his aversion to the Infinite is why he didn't go for it, I get it.
Same.
It's daunting.
Yeah, and I honestly, I respect it. He doesn't want to stare into the abyss. As Faker is taking a fair bit of damage here from Showmaker, but dealing a bit back himself, as there are 2 Siege minions. So it's just very hard to get rid of them. As Pays can at least throw Mystic Shots their way. Does get rid of one of them there, but I mean, it's just next minion wave, and they are able to take down this turret. No worries. The 4-1 working out nicely as Shiu getting a shove into this mid lane as Equalizer goes down, but doesn't really do too much. Oner pretty happy just to have that cooldown.
Yeah, the fake out of the Realm Warp from Faker, not wanting to commit with members of Dplus there to respond, but it just means another tower going down.
Yeah, it is a trade of ultis, I guess. And
so
missed the Realm Warp there.
2,500 gold on the Baron power play. Oh, that's just change places.
Trade of teleports.
Yep.
Showmaker shows up. That is going to deny the turret and continue the push. 8.7 thousand gold, the lead here for Dplus. And if you're a T1 fan, and I know there's a few of you, I think you're hanging your hat on a potential Elder flip. We have 40 seconds left. And we were talking about this in the previous series. We didn't get it because not enough Drakes died, I feel. But this is definitely on the cards. 2.5 minutes is not that long. I think T1 should be able to hold out. Their base is still alive. Full plates on all of their inhibitor turrets.
The Baron's nearly gone as well, so they will get this tower in the bot lane. But that should be the last one they take on this push. And
Actualizer's done.
True. Big spikes. Some big spikes coming through for both Faker and Pays.
All right, let's see whether they can keep themselves alive, though, and actually be able to get into position, because there is so much vision.
The other issue is approaching the dragon and having vision of it. They can kind of skip it and just ult in with a Realm Warp and the Grand Starfall, but not
that might be
best things.
Yeah, the problem is you're kind of diving into a blender there, aren't you? Because you put the Miasma down, you put the Equalizer on top of it, there's captive audiences all over the place.
Yeah, the Miasma,
you down.
For where you land, Showmaker's been doing that a couple of times this game. Very annoying. Yeah. Very annoying.
Works very well into Pantheon at the same time. So, tough times. As now Faker could be in trouble. He's going to try and Realm Warp his way out. He's going to successfully do so. But Showmaker was there to catch him. Petrifying Gaze catches him looking back. And the Noxious Blast are going to connect. Dash Cannon forward there as Smash walks over and just hits him with a couple of bullets. Saved a fourth one there for his former mid laner.
And that's a big reason. Everyone loves the Cassiopeia into Rise, is when he's casting those spells that forced looking at the Cassiopeia. Can time it to get the ult off. Really well played by Showmaker to get that. And what could have been an escape for Faker ends up being a death, ends up being a punish. An opportunity to try and push this wave in, but I think without the Baron minions, you're not going to get much progress.
Yeah, 1 minute. And the Elder is up and available as well. So if they do push too far and get punished, then it could be almost game losing. And I think Dplus not going to be taking risks that they can't afford to take. Not in this game.
Yeah, you see pings coming out from Dplus. Keria's going on a solo mission to get some wards. You have to do this. You have to not only do this, but try and get some sneaky wards in that aren't going to get swept. They've already found one. The control ward in the pit is not going to be long for this world.
Yeah, they're going to be able to take that one down. Although they haven't seen it just yet. Ward has survived for a very long time. They will be able to sweep them.
Oh, they've pinged it now. They've seen it now. There's a ward in that Tri-Brush as well. Limited vision, definitely, for T1 in this situation. Is it enough, is the question. Doran doesn't quite have his TP back yet, so a TP flank isn't on the cards right now. And Elder spawns.
All right, Mega Cone just going to get exploded there by Showmaker.
Our face checking Cassiopeia is just miserable.
Yeah, I just feel like face checking this team in general is really difficult. However, they have a Nico. Shape Splitter is very, very good at doing exactly that without sacrificing yourself.
They did nerf it to have longer cooldown, though. The cooldown starts when it dies, not when you press it, so don't have as much availability as before to keep scouting. I like this wraparound, though, not just going straight through them. It seems like Dplus, they won't start the Elder. They will just look to fight, which I think is the right call.
Yeah, Shu getting that wave shoved in. Smash doing the same thing in the mid lane. And this is an 8,000 gold lead. Bounties are up. DK's wallets are very hefty. Some supporter combat towards the north, but T1 not going to engage on anything on the bottom side as Faker is dealing with that mid lane wave. And DK very patient. Don't want to start off this Drake without a plan. They have so much dragon damage, though, just with Cassiopeia there as well as Lucid and Shiu. Let's see whether T1 can do it. Oner can always get in. We know that. As he ults into the backline to smash, flashes out of the way. He gets cleansed. Decent dodges there at the same time, avoids the snare. As Doran wants to get on top of him, the deadly flourish comes down and connects onto Keria, and then he's able to outplay. Now the curtains are being called, but he immediately has to stop it. As Faker was looking to get on top of him, it just doesn't matter. As Dplus will ace them and look to push down the mid lane.
Smash with the fancy footwork to dodge away from his old teammates. Able to survive the fight and turn it around onto T1. 17-2 the kill score. And they're going to be able to take game one.
Damn. Well, we did think that perhaps there was a little bit of a whoopsie done as far as the draft was concerned, but honestly, I'm blown away with how well Dplus held onto that snowball and never let it dissipate. This was pedal to the metal League of Legends from them the entire time, and they'll take down the Nexus and put themselves 1-0.